Have you ever thought about the negative impacts that a permanent hazardous waste storage site would have amongst the United States? Today, the purpose of this speech is to persuade my audience that Yucca Mountain would serve as a negative coastal site for a permanent hazardous waste storage spot. As a sister and sister-in-law to two environmentally involved Navy specialists, my love for the environment has always been strong. However, over the last year at a college level, my love for the environment has grown even stronger due to taking an Introduction to Environmental Science course with Professor McKenzie, where we often talked about the harmful impacts that American citizens had on the environment, especially in regards to hazardous waste material. Here's a picture of Yucca Mountain, and Yucca Mountain is the proposed spent nuclear fuel and high-level radioactive waste repository site. However, this site does have ample issues wrong with it, which are geological, locational, transportational, storage, and national security issues. One of the main reasons that I disagree with Yucca Mountain becoming a site for disposal is because of the geological issues that are present on this site. I believe that there are significant scientific factors and issues with the sustainability of Yucca Mountain. One of these main issues is the fact that Yucca Mountain is volcanically active. Another issue with this is that the aquifer of Yucca Mountain currently drains directly into the Armagasa Valley, which is one of Nevada's most prominent and productive agricultural regions. Therefore, if there was any issues with leakage of hazardous materials, it would go straight into this agricultural aquifer and cause severe damage to the agricultural areas around Yucca Mountain. Now that we have addressed the geological issues of Yucca Mountain, we can begin to address the locational and transportational issues with Yucca Mountain. As you can see in this picture here of Nevada, right here is Yucca Mountain. Las Vegas is right here, only 90 miles away, and adjacent to Yucca Mountain is Nellis Air Force Base. Therefore, if materials got released or something were to happen that would damage not only the Air Force Base right next door, but also the entire city of Las Vegas, displacing thousands and thousands of people. Another issue with Yucca Mountain is that it puts the American public at risk. There is over 100 million people on the current transportation routes via truck or train that would bring the materials from our current storage sites to Yucca Mountain. Therefore, if any issues occurred during that transportation, many people would be in harm's way with the possibility of injuries, disability, or even death. Now that we have addressed the locational transportational issues with Yucca Mountain, we can begin to address storage issues. Another problem with using Yucca Mountain as a storage space is that it is limited space and simply is not large enough to contain all of the hazardous waste materials of the nation. There are currently more than 70,000 metric tons of high-level nuclear waste across the country and our 70 storage spots. This number increases by more than 2,000 tons per year. Yucca Mountain in its wholeness is currently only designed to the capacity of 77,000 metric tons. Therefore, by the time we filled Yucca Mountain with the spent fuel that we currently have, we would still have to access those other storage reaction sites. On top of that, there is no certainty in the quality of storage canister metal. DOE plans to use a material called alloy 22, which is a combination of nickel, molybdenum, and also coronium. So, it's believed that these materials could last in storage up to 10,000 years. However, there's no scientific proof to back those beliefs. It is believed that this material does have a low rate of corrosion, which would be great for it to be buried for a significant period of time. But again, we have not done studies to be able to address that to make sure that those scientific facts are actually backed by scientific evidence. Even the Nuclear Waste Technical Review Board was skeptical on approving the plans for the licensing of this material because of the lack of evidence. Not to mention that once the canisters are buried, there is no way for us to make up for a miscalculation. So now that we have addressed the storage issues along with Yucca Mountain, we can begin to discuss the national security issues as it relates to Yucca Mountain. One of the biggest issues that is not currently being addressed with Yucca Mountain is national security. It is believed by the DOE that Yucca Mountain would actually make America safer. However, what has failed to be realized is that it's actually giving terrorists a more specific target. DOE believes that there will be over 100,000 transportation units that will be transporting the waste from the current storage sites to Yucca Mountain. Therefore, that's 100,000 mobile targets for terrorists to be able to attack. On top of that, DOE plans to store the nuclear waste fuel above ground at Yucca Mountain site for the first 100 years, which creates the largest spent fuel storage target in the world. I don't know about you, but I've currently experienced enough terrorism in my lifetime that I don't ever want to have to deal with this again. So with that being said, yes, Yucca Mountain is the proposed spent nuclear fuel and high-level radioactive waste material repository site where both materials can be disposed of. However, Yucca Mountain presents ample problems in regards to the geological, locational, transportational, storage, and national security issues of the United States. So now that you have learned about the seriousness of Yucca Mountain as it presents as a hazardous waste storage site, I hope you can agree that we must do our part to ensure that the legislation to get Yucca Mountain approved is denied. Thank you and have a great day.